Chief Obina had everything a man could want. A big house with white walls and a gold gate that shined in the sun. 7 cars parked outside, red ones, black ones, even a white one that looked like it came from a movie. A swimming pool that sparkled like diamonds. Servants who cooked his food and cleaned his floors. But the thing he loved most in the whole world was his family. His wife, Ngozi, had a smile that could light up the darkest room. She was beautiful, with skin like smooth chocolate, and eyes that danced when she laughed. She sang while cooking jollof rice in the kitchen. She told funny stories that made everyone hold their bellies with laughter. She was the heart of their home. Their 4 children were Chief Obina's pride and joy. Ada was 12 years old, smart and serious, always reading books under the mango tree. Emeka was 10, loud and playful, always kicking his football and breaking things by mistake. Chioma was 8, the family dancer, spinning around the house and making everyone smile. And little Kelechi was just 6 years old, the baby of the family, with chubby cheeks and a laugh that sounded like bells ringing. Every evening when Chief Obina was home, they would all sit together for dinner. Ngozi would serve the food. The children would talk about school. Chief Obina would tell them stories about his travels. Those were the happiest moments of his life. But Chief Obina had a problem. A big problem that lived in his head and wouldn't leave him alone. His work took him away from home all the time. Sometimes for 2 weeks. Sometimes for 3 weeks. Sometimes even a whole month. He traveled to America for business meetings. To China to check his factories. To Dubai to sign contracts. He made more and more money. His bank account grew bigger and bigger. But every night in those lonely hotel rooms, far away from his family, a small voice whispered in his head, "What if Ngozi doesn't love you anymore? What if she's tired of waiting? What if she's with another man?" At first, Chief Obina pushed the thought away. "That's stupid," he told himself. "Ngozi loves me. We've been married for 13 years. She would never do that." But the voice kept coming back. It grew louder and louder, like a drum beating in his ear. Soon, it was all he could think about. When he was in meetings, he thought about it. When he was eating dinner alone, he thought about it. When he tried to sleep, he thought about it. The jealousy ate at him like termites eating wood. One day, 3 months before everything fell apart, Chief Obina made a decision. He was going on another trip to London. Before he left, he called a man he knew, a quiet man who sold special equipment. "Secret things. I need cameras," Chief Obina said in a low voice. "Small ones, hidden ones, the kind nobody can see." The man smiled a crooked smile. "How many do you need?" "Enough to see every corner of my house, every room, every hallway, everything." The man nodded. "It will cost a lot of money." "I don't care about money," Chief Obina said. "Just do it." 3 days later, while Ngozi took the children to school in the morning, workers came to the house. They weren't regular workers. They wore plain clothes and carried small bags. They moved quickly and quietly, like shadows. They put tiny cameras everywhere. In the living room, hidden behind the big TV. In the kitchen, tucked inside the clock on the wall. In the master bedroom, behind the mirror where Ngozi checked her makeup. In the children's rooms, hidden in the teddy bears on the shelves. In the corridors, in the dining room, even in the backyard. 12 cameras in total. 12 tiny eyes watching everything. No one knew about them. Not Ngozi. Not the children. Not the housemaid, Amaka, who cleaned and cooked. Not the gateman, Obi, who opened the gate for visitors. Not even Chike, the driver, who had worked for Chief Obina for 7 years. When the workers finished, they left quickly. Chief Obina tested the cameras on his phone. Perfect. He could see every room, even when he was thousands of miles away. He felt smart, powerful, like a king watching over his kingdom. Now I'll know the truth, he whispered to himself. Now I'll see everything. The next week, Chief Obina traveled to London. He had meetings about shipping containers and import taxes, boring stuff. But every night, back in his hotel room, he would order room service, close the curtains, and open his laptop. He typed in a secret password. The screen came alive with 12 small boxes. Each box showed a different part of his house, live. Right at that moment, he watched Ngozi cook dinner. He watched the children do their homework at the dining table. He watched Amaka sweep the floors and wash the dishes. He watched Chike wash the cars outside, whistling a song. Everything looked normal, peaceful, happy. Chief Obina felt a small wave of shame wash over him. Maybe I was wrong, he thought. Maybe I'm just being paranoid. Maybe Ngozi really does love me. But he didn't stop watching. Every night, he would check the cameras. It became a habit, an addiction. He couldn't help himself. Days turned into weeks. And slowly, things started to change. Ngozi stopped singing in the kitchen. She moved around the house like a ghost, slow and heavy. Her eyes looked tired all the time, with dark circles underneath. She stopped laughing at the children's jokes. Sometimes, she would just sit on the couch in the living room, staring at the wall, as if she was thinking about something terrible. Chief Obina noticed. His heart started beating faster. What's wrong with her? Is she sick? Is she sad because of me? Or is there someone else? Then something even stranger happened. One Tuesday evening, Chief Obina was watching the cameras from his hotel in London. He saw Amaka, the housemaid, packing her bags in her room. She folded her clothes quickly, stuffed them into an old bag, and walked out of the house. Just like that. No goodbye, no explanation. Chief Obina grabbed his phone and called Ngozi. Hello? Ngozi's voice sounded weak. Why did Amaka leave? Chief Obina asked. What happened? There was a long pause. She said she wanted to go back to her village. Her mother is sick. Did you pay her? Yes. Did something happen in the house? Did you two fight? No. Nothing happened. But Ngozi's voice was shaking. Chief Obina didn't believe her. Something was wrong. Very wrong. 2 days later, Obi the gateman also left, just packed his things and walked out the gate without a word. Chief Obina called Ngozi again. Now the gateman is gone too? What's going on in my house? I don't know, Ngozi whispered. People they just want to leave. That doesn't make sense. I'm tired, Obina. I'm just tired. And she hung up the phone. Chief Obina stared at his laptop screen. His house looked the same, but it felt different now. Like something dark had moved into the rooms. Like a shadow was growing. He watched the cameras even more carefully. He replayed old videos, looking for clues. Then he saw something that made his blood run cold. In one video from 2 nights ago, Ngozi was in the corridor near the kitchen. Chike, the driver, was standing in front of her. They were talking. Their voices were too low for the camera to pick up clearly, but Chief Obina could see their faces. Chike looked angry. His jaw was tight. His hands were in fists. Ngozi looked scared. She was shaking her head, saying no to something. Chike pointed his finger at her, like he was threatening her. Then Ngozi put her hands together, like she was begging. And Chike walked away, slamming the door behind him. Chief Obina's mind raced. What was that about? Why is my driver talking to my wife like that? Are they together? Is that the secret? He wanted to jump on a plane right that moment and fly home. But he had one more meeting, one last contract to sign. It was worth millions of naira. He couldn't miss it. Just one more day, he told himself. Tomorrow, I'll go home and find out the truth. He called Ngozi that night. I'm coming home tomorrow, he said. Okay, Ngozi whispered. She sounded like she was crying. Are you okay? Yes, I'm fine. Just be safe. That night, Chief Obina couldn't sleep. He opened his laptop at 2 a.m. and checked the cameras again. The house was dark. Everyone was asleep. But something felt wrong. Like the calm before a storm. Like the air before thunder. He closed the laptop and tried to sleep. But his heart wouldn't stop pounding. The next morning, he finished his meeting as fast as he could. He rushed to the airport, got on the plane, and sat in his seat, counting the hours. 8 long hours in the sky. He couldn't watch movies, couldn't eat the food they served. He just stared out the window, thinking about Ngozi's scared face and Chike's angry eyes. When the plane finally landed in Lagos, Chief Obina grabbed his bag and ran through the airport. He didn't wait for his driver. He jumped into a taxi. Take me to Lekki. Fast. I'll pay you double. The taxi driver stepped on the gas. When they reached his street, Chief Obina threw money at the driver and jumped out. He ran to his gate. It was closed. He pushed it open himself and ran up the driveway. The house looked normal from outside. But something felt wrong. The air was too still. Too quiet. He pushed open the front door. Ngozi, I'm home. Ada, Emeka, Chioma, Kelechi. Nothing. No running feet. No happy screams of Daddy's home. No Ngozi coming to hug him. Just silence. Thick, heavy silence. Chief Obina walked into the living room. And then he saw them. Ngozi was lying on the floor, her wrapper spread around her like wings. Her eyes were open, staring at the ceiling, but she wasn't blinking. Around her were his children. Ada, still in her school uniform. Emeka, clutching his football. Chioma, her little dance shoes still on. And Kelechi, his baby, curled up like he was sleeping. But they weren't sleeping. Chief Obina's scream shook the walls. He fell to his knees and crawled to Ngozi. He shook her shoulders. Wake up! Please, Ngozi, wake up! Don't leave me! But she didn't move. Her body was cold. He looked at his children. His beautiful, innocent children. All of them gone. Chief Obina screamed until his throat was raw. He didn't know how long he sat there, holding his wife's hand, crying like a child. Finally, he called the police. They came quickly. Men and women in uniform filled his house. They asked him questions. Where was he? When did he leave? Who else lived here? Did he have enemies? Chief Obina couldn't speak. He just pointed at his family on the floor. The police checked every room. They took pictures. They looked for clues. Who did this? Chief Obina finally croaked. Who killed my family? The lead police officer shook his head. We don't know yet, sir. Nothing was stolen. No one broke in. The gate was locked from inside. We'll investigate, but this is strange. Hours passed. Then days. The police had no answers. No fingerprints. No witnesses. The neighbors heard nothing. Saw nothing. They buried Ngozi and the children together. In a cemetery under a big tree. Chief Obina stood at the grave, unable to cry anymore. He felt empty, like someone had scooped out his heart and left a hole. People came to comfort him. Friends, family, business partners. They said, sorry for your loss. God knows best. Time will heal. But Chief Obina didn't want their words. He wanted his family back. For days, he sat in his empty house, staring at the walls. He couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. He just walked from room to room, remembering. This was where Chioma used to dance. This was where Emeka broke the vase. This was where Kelechi learned to walk. Now, all of it was just memory. Then, one night, Something clicked in his brain. The cameras. He had forgotten about them in all the pain and confusion. But now, he remembered. The cameras had seen everything. They were always watching, always recording. Chief Obina ran to his office and grabbed his laptop. His hands shook so badly he could barely type the password. But finally, the screen came alive. He went to the video files from 5 days ago, the day before he came home. He pressed play. At first, everything looked normal. Morning, Ngozi made breakfast. The children got ready for school. Chike came to drive them. They all piled into the car, laughing and talking. Afternoon. They came back home. Homework, TV, dinner. Evening. The house got quiet. The children went to their rooms. Ngozi went to the bedroom. Chief Obina watched closely, his heart pounding. Then, around 10 p.m., he saw something. Ngozi came out of the bedroom and went to the kitchen. A few minutes later, Chike entered the house through the back door. He wasn't supposed to be there. He lived in the boys' quarters outside. Chief Obina leaned closer to the screen. Ngozi and Chike stood in the kitchen, talking. Chief Obina turned up the volume as high as it could go. Their voices were faint, but he could hear them. "You have to tell him the truth," Chike said. His face was hard, angry. "I'm tired of hiding. I'm tired of pretending." "I can't," Ngozi said. Tears ran down her face. "If I tell him, he'll hate me. He'll take everything. I'll lose my children. Those children should know the truth." Chike's voice got louder. "Especially Ada. She deserves to know who her real father is." Chief Obina felt like someone had punched him in the chest. Ada, his first daughter, the one who looked like Ngozi, the one who was smart and serious, the one he had raised for 12 years. She wasn't his. "Please, Chike," Ngozi begged. "Just give me time. I'll tell him. I promise. But not now. Not like this." "I've given you 13 years," Chike shouted. "How much more time do you need? Please." "No. I'm telling him myself when he comes back tomorrow. I'm done hiding." Ngozi grabbed his arm. "Don't. Please don't do this." Chike pulled his arm away. "It's too late, Ngozi. I should have never agreed to this lie." He turned to walk away. But then, little Chioma appeared at the kitchen door, rubbing her eyes. "Mama? Why are you shouting?" "I can't sleep." Both Ngozi and Chike froze. Chioma looked at Chike. "Uncle Chike, why are you here?" And that's when everything went wrong. Chike's face changed. Fear flashed in his eyes. Then anger. He looked at Ngozi, then at Chioma, then back at Ngozi. "She heard us," Chike whispered. "She's just a child," Ngozi said quickly. "She doesn't understand. Chioma, go back to bed." But Chioma didn't move. She was smart for an 8-year-old. Why did Uncle Chike say Ada's father? Daddy is Ada's father. Chike stepped toward Chioma. "No!" Ngozi screamed. What happened next was too terrible. Chief Obina watched, frozen, as Chike grabbed Chioma. Ngozi tried to fight him. She screamed. She scratched his face. But Chike was stronger. The noise woke the other children. Ada came running. Then Emeka. Then little Kelechi. They saw their mother fighting. They tried to help. But Chike panicked. He grabbed a knife from the kitchen counter. And in his fear and anger and desperation, he did the unthinkable. Chief Obina watched his whole family fight for their lives. He watched them try to run, try to hide, try to leave. But Chike was too strong, too fast, too angry. When it was over, Chike stood in the living room, breathing hard, covered in blood. He looked around at what he had done. His hands were shaking. He dropped the knife. Then he walked out the back door and disappeared into the night. Chief Obina stopped the video. He couldn't breathe. His whole body shook. He vomited on the floor. Then he cried. He cried so hard his body hurt. Chike, his driver, a man he had trusted for 7 years, a man who ate food in his house, a man who played with his children, and Ngozi, his wife. She had lied to him for 13 years. Ada wasn't his daughter. All this time, she had kept this secret. But did that secret deserve death? Did his children deserve to die because of it? No, never. Chief Obina called the police immediately. He showed them the video. The officers watched in silence, their faces grim. "We'll find him," the lead officer promised. Within 2 days, they tracked Chike to a small village 4 hours away. He was hiding in his uncle's house. When the police surrounded the house, Chike didn't even try to run. He just came out with his hands up, his eyes empty. In court, Chike confessed everything. He told them about the secrets, about how he and Ngozi had been together before she met Chief Obina, about how Ada was his daughter, about how Ngozi had begged him to stay silent, and he had agreed because he needed the job, about how the years of lying ate at him until he couldn't take it anymore, about how that night, when Chioma heard them, he panicked. He didn't plan to kill anyone, but fear took over, and once it started, he couldn't stop. The judge sentenced him to death by hanging. But it didn't matter to Chief Obina. Chike dying wouldn't bring his family back. It wouldn't erase the pain. It wouldn't fill the silence in his big, empty house. Months passed. Chief Obina stopped going to work. He stopped answering phone calls. He fired all his workers. He just sat in his house, alone, watching old videos. Videos of Ngozi singing while cooking. Videos of Ada reading under the mango tree. Videos of Emeka scoring goals in the backyard. Videos of Chioma dancing in her room. Videos of little Kelechi running around with his toy car, laughing. He had wanted to see everything, to know everything, to control everything. He had put cameras everywhere because he didn't trust his wife. And now, all he had left were videos, memories trapped in a screen, a family frozen in time. One night, Chief Obina stood in the middle of his living room, the same spot where his family had died. He looked up at the tiny camera hidden behind the TV. Those little eyes had seen everything. They had watched his family's last moments. They had captured the truth. But what good was the truth now? He wished he had never bought those cameras. He wished he had just loved his wife, trusted her, talked to her. Maybe if he had, she would have told him about Ada on her own. Maybe they could have worked it out. Maybe she would have been honest if he had given her safety instead of suspicion. Maybe his family would still be alive. But now, it was too late. Chief Obina learned the hardest lesson a man can learn. Some things are better left unknown. Some secrets hurt less than the truth. And sometimes, the need to see everything, to know everything, to control everything, can cost you the one thing that matters most: love. Now he lives alone in his big house with white walls and a gold gate. 7 cars that nobody drives. A swimming pool that nobody swims in. And 12 tiny cameras that still watch, even though there's nothing left to see. Remember this: don't let fear and jealousy eat your heart. Love your family. Trust them. Talk to them. Because in the end, love is worth more than all the secrets in the world. And family is more precious than anything money can buy.